Washington Redskins first-round pick.
At the age of 21, Sean is drafted by the Washington Redskins.
And Sean was taken in the first round of the NFL draft, and he really quickly became a star within the league. The Washington fans loved him.
Every year, he just got better and better.
Miami is a town that loves its sports, and he was a homegrown hero. And he really was considered one of the best football players to ever come out of South Florida.
With a signing bonus of $7.2 million, Sean quickly adopts a superstar lifestyle.
Sean certainly had his entourage, and he was surrounded by people that were drawn to him because of his fame and his
Charles.
Sean Taylor had parties at his house. He basically opened his residence to whoever wanted to join and have a good time.
He would often have Sasha over, and her boyfriend would come along, and some of his friends would come along.
Sasha Johnson did name several names that attended the parties at Sean Taylor's house.
Detectives now have the names of 5 more possible suspects: Jason Mitchell, Charles Wardlow, Eric Rivera, Benja Hunt, and Timmy Brown gave police. These 2 men, along with 3 others, are now the prime suspects in the shooting.
What really gave the detectives a lot of leverage, because now they could go and say, what are you doing in Miami-Dade County in the middle of the night in the area around where Sean...
Turn around, hands up. Back out.
We picked up 4 out of the 5 individuals, which included Benja Hunt, Charles Wardlow, Eric Rivera, and Jason Mitchell. Each of them was separated and placed in different interview rooms.
Rounding up the suspects may have gone smoothly, but getting them to talk is something else.
Nobody's gonna walk into a room, spill the beans, and tell you about how they killed someone or they were part of a murder.
You want to tell me where you were on the night of the 26th?
I don't remember.
Honestly, I only went with them because they said I could come along. I didn't want nothing to do with that.
Sean wasn't supposed to be there, man.
I guess I heard a gunshot.
Last week, Jason.
I seen Eric run out. I just ran behind him. I didn't know. Stupid.
Eventually, the young men start to break down.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Sean Taylor was a superstar. He was loved by everybody, and he was generous with his money. So for his sister's birthday, he brought her thousands of dollars in cash. Most people would see this as a kind gesture.
She keep losing her damn purse. Don't lose this one. What you got in there?
But these defendants, they see criminal opportunity. And with that criminal intent, they head back to Mr. Taylor's house in the dead of night, thinking Mr. Taylor's gone. With Mr. Taylor's fiancée and young child sleeping upstairs, they break in the house with a firearm. They don't care. The evidence showed that Eric Rivera and Jason Mitchell broke in and encountered Mr. Taylor, who came down to protect and defend his family.
Sean, someone's in the house.
Unfortunately, Mr. Taylor's machete was no match for Eric Rivera's gun.
Bastards.
One shot to the leg led to his tragic death. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit to you, for these crimes, these defendants deserve to spend the rest of their life behind bars.
So it was an emotional one. You know, a lot of crying, I would say, a lot of facts coming out, you know, in court during testimony. No loved one wants to hear about their loved ones having gone through this.
Charles Wardlow is sentenced to 30 years. Benja Hunt, 29 years. And Timmy Lee Brown, 18 years.
These young men, they were all football fans, and frankly were young men that Sean would have helped. And in the end, their greed ended up costing him his life, and it was just so needless.
One of Sean's best virtues was that he was a very generous, a very loving and caring man. and unfortunately, it might be what caused his demise.
Sean Taylor's family still lives in South Florida.
I love you, man.
Jackie Garcia has moved on. She remarried and basically is raising her daughter that she had with Sean. And there's not one day that Jackie Garcia doesn't go thinking about Sean Taylor and the person he was and the loving father and family man he was to their family.
I've seen photos of baby Jackie. I can tell you she's a beautiful young little girl who appears to have a full life, hopefully happy life ahead of her. I know Jackie has a very strong family unit that supports her very much.
Sean's family will never forget him, and neither will his legions of fans.
And I can't tell you how many Redskins fans are still heartbroken about this beloved sports figure.
It's not just about being a football player. He was a man, he was a decent man who never got a chance to see his daughter grow, never got a chance to, see his father and his mother grow old, and never saw his dream come together the way he wanted it, for everybody to be together, for everybody to be taken care of, and for everybody to be happy under one roof. And to take that away from someone, I think is the most tragic of cases.